So I get to do something super, super fun for you guys to show you exactly how I do my research before I present things to you so that we can make sure that they're not in error. Because fancy that. Joel 2:23. This was the verse that I just went through in my last video. And one of the very first comments I got was from a gentleman saying that the translations have been corrupted and only the original texts are trustworthy. I'm going to guess the reason he said this was because the word month is not technically in Joel 2:23. When you bring up, this is Blue Letter Bible that I have up. So when you bring up the translation from the original Hebrew text, it says, "Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your God, for he hath given the former rain, and will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first." And it inserts the word month. So technically the word month is never in there, but I know that. And because I know that and I know the context, I'm totally good with putting it in there because I'm going to show you why. So someone who would say, well, the word month isn't in there. The reason that they would do that is to try to dispel the notion that it's talking about Jesus returning in the month Nisan. Well, that's exactly what is intended here, and I'm going to show you how we get there. So what I have here is this H7223 word. This is where the lexicon takes you to show you all of the verses in which that word appears. And there are a lot of them. However, I bring this over to, let's see, go back to the verse. I bring this back to BibleHub.com because this gives us a great deal more specificity. And Joel 2:23, what it does is it says in the first could mean as before, or it could be the first in a sequence or a rank or an order. It's got a few different meanings. So as I just showed you from Blue Letter Bible, the word first occurs in a crap ton of verses. So how would you ever be able to get context or narrow it down? Because of this. So we click on this and it's going to take us to all of these list of verses where it appears. And when we go down to the bottom, it's going to give you all these different variations of where this word appears and specific context in which it is used. So the one that we're looking for is this top one. And what does it tell you? There's 8 times when this word is used. Joel 2:23 is one of them. When it's talking about in the first month. Remember that word month is not technically in the verse. It's added in parentheses. What is the context of the other 7 times this word was used? In the first month. In the first month. In the first month, in the first month, in the first month, in the first month, in the first month. 100% of the times where this specific Hebrew word is used in the Old Testament, it means in the first month. While I understand that that word month is not technically there, it's added for context, but in 100% of the cases where that word is used, it is referring to the month Nisan. And specifically, it's referring to the first month in Genesis 8:13, which was the first verse that I showed in the previous video that I did. This would have been pre-Exodus 12, so it was referring to Tishri, actually. It was respective to the flood. But here in Exodus 12, it's referring to the Passover. And in Numbers 9, it's referring to the Passover. And in Ezekiel 45, it's going to be referring to the Passover. And in Joel 2:23, it's going to be referring to Nisan as the month of the second coming of Christ. So while I understand that technically the word month is not in that verse, 100% of the other times that that specific variation of that Hebrew word is used, which is 7 other times in the Old Testament, it's referring to the first month. That is why context is so, so important. So while I understand the premise of the naysayer comment, it's like, well, the translations are corrupted. You have to go back to the original language. I did, and I got context. So when I presented it, I already knew that. I'm not telling you something wrong. It was done with full knowledge of context before I presented it. So that if someone comes and says the word month is never in that verse, yeah, but you get that based on context. From all of the other reference points, it's talking about the first month 100% of the time. So I like it when people kind of challenge this stuff. on faulty premises or incomplete premises, because I have already done this and I already know this and I'm already prepared for this, so I can come show you the word study that shows it's referencing the first month, even if the King James technically adds that word month. It's context. It's always all about context. The context of Joel 2:23 is Hosea 5:15 through Hosea 6:3. It is talking about Jesus offering the kingdom to Israel the first time, and they refused it. And then he went back up to his place. And when he returns the second time, it will be a repeat, as in the first, as it was before, second kingdom presentation, second earthly kingdom presentation to Israel. And as it was before in the first month, Nisan 10 specifically, Palm Sunday, it will be the second time as well. So in case anyone is confused further about this or has such, pushback the same as this gentleman did, I already knew that. And this is how we get context, is we look at the times when it's used in similar situations. 100% of the time that word first is used, it's in a reference to the first month. So we're good. There's no conflict here.